delivers him and brings him back, and delivers also by extension the other kings who were at war. So at this point, one would have thought or would have imagined that Lot would have done the same thing that the prodigal son did. And he returns to himself and says, I will go back to my father's house. I will go back to my uncle. But he does not. Abram goes his way. Lot goes his way. The next time we interact with Lot, it's in Genesis 1, at the gate of Sodom, where now the angels are coming to destroy the city. And they come and meet with Lot at this point. And we know the interaction that he took them to his house. The men of Sodom wanted to abuse the angels that had visited. And Abram, in his previous interaction with the Lord, he said, would you destroy the righteous with the unrighteous? If there be 10 that are found righteous, because that's the last number he gives, will you destroy the city? God says, if I find 10 who are righteous, I will not. And these 10 was Abraham counting. He knew in Sodom there was Lot, his wife, his 2 daughters. We are at 4. The 2 son-in-laws, because he says sons-in-law. So those are 2 son-in-laws married to 2 daughters. So we are at 8. And I think it talks about another son-in-law. So just Lot's family, him, his wife, his daughters, and sons-in-law would have gotten to that number. But it did not. And by the time we see Lot running away, or rather being pulled by the angels out of Sodom and out of Gomorrah, he is not the same person that we see separating himself from Abram. He left Abram with his wife. Probably he had children at that point, and with a lot of cattle, gold, and silver. But when he's leaving Sodom, it's just him, his wife, who turns back, and 2 daughters. It does not end well for Lot. It does not end well for Lot. I wish he would have said the same thing that Ruth said to Naomi, entreat me not to leave you. And this is what Bishop told us, that at this point, when someone would have looked at Naomi, she had nothing to offer. But Ruth still said, entreat me not to leave you. We see something similar in 1 Samuel chapter 22 about David in the cave of Adullam. Say, David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave Adullam. And when his brethren and his father's house heard it, they went down there to him. And everyone that was in distress, everyone that was in debt, and everyone that was discontent gathered themselves to him. And he became a captain over them, and there were with him about 400 men. So people who are in debt, discontent, distressed, they go to David. Those are the kind of people that have gone to him. And look at where he is. He's not a king at this point, either in Hebron or in Judah or in Jerusalem. No, he's in a cave. But people realize that he's been anointed by the prophet Samuel, and they stay close to him. These are the people that the Bible refers to as the mighty men of David. When we stay on the same verse, in same chapter, verse 6, in 1 Samuel 22, and when Saul heard that David was discovered, and the men that were with him, now Saul abode in Gibeah, under a tree in Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him. He challenges his servants in verse 7. He says, Then Saul said to his servants that stood about him, Hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards and make you all captains of thousands and captains of... What has David have to offer? Why would you make allegiance with him? Why would you be in a league with him? And sometimes these people who are umbrella holders in our lives, they have nothing, or seemingly have nothing physical to give. But how should we still respond to them? By virtue of these men aligning themselves with David, in 2 Samuel 23 verse 8, we are introduced to the mighty men of David. From the duration of time that they were with him, and they saw, and says, Now these be the mighty men of David whom David had. When it continues, you will see the relationship they had with him. Because these are the people that went to him that were in debt, discontent, distressed. See how their lives turned around. And now, the Bible does not refer to them as people who are in debt, discontent, and distressed, but refers to them as the mighty men of David. I believe from the scriptures that in the interactions in the Bible that I've shared, that we're able to see what happens in our lives when we move away from the umbrella holders and when we move to the umbrella holders. Just as it is physically, the rain will beat us thoroughly if we move away from the umbrella holder. This is not just about Jesus Christ. Yes, we need to maintain our relationship with Jesus. We need to stay connected with Jesus. But there are certain people in our lives that God would give us understanding that these are people who are placed specifically for our blessing. And our blessing will come with how we relate with them. May God bless you. At this time, I'd like us to give into the offering, and we bless the Lord as it is our custom, as it is in the word. He that watereth shall be well watered. Amen. So as the band gives us a number and the brethren come forward, may the Lord bless you as in our offering. Those who are giving through mobile money, the channel is posted on the screens, or if you're watching online, on the description of the YouTube video. God bless you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.